we've investigated the rhythm of Over the Rainbow. Now let's take a look at the actual pitches of the melody and investigate those in a little bit more detail. So let's start over again in the first measure. And we start in the first measure with the C that is on the ledger line in just below the treble clef. And that's middle C. The very next note that we have is the C on the third space of the treble clef, which is 1 octave above. And that's a very dramatic way to open your melody. I want to investigate that motion from the bottom C to the top C in a little bit more detail and with a little bit more precision. So if you notice down here, I've written all of the letter names of our notes. I've written C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. So we start on the C, on middle C, and then we jump up to the C 1 octave above. And what I want to investigate is exactly how far have I traveled to get from that C at the bottom to that C at the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to count up the letter names from the bottom to the top. So C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6, B is 7, and C is 8. So I've traveled through 8 notes to get from the bottom note to the top note, from the C to the C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So I'm just going to make a little note of that above the staff. I'm going up through 8 letter names, C to C. Where do I go next? Well, I go from the C that ends the first measure to a B that begins on the second measure. So I start on C and I end up on B. How many letter names have I traveled through and in what direction to get from C to C? Well, I'm going down, and I'm going from C, which I'll call 1, to B, which I'll call 2. So I'm going down by 2 letter names. Let's do a couple more of these. So I'm now on B, and I want to get to the next note, which is G. So how many letter names am I going to have to travel through to get from B to G? Well, let's see. I start on B, so let's put a mark on B, and I'm going to end on G. So I have to go down, because I'm going to the left. Remember, going to the left, we always call that going down. So I'm going to go from B, 1, A, 2, G, 3. So I'm going to go down 3 letter names. And let's maybe finish off the second measure. Okay, next I'm going to go from the G to an A. And what direction am I going in? I'm going from the G to the A. I'm going to go up. So I'm going to the right on the keyboard. And I start on G. I go up to an A. So let's count that. G, 1, A, 2. I'm going to go up by 2. Then from A, I'm going to go up to a B. And how far am I traveling to go from the A to the B? Well, I'm going to start on A, and I'm going to end up on B. So I'm going to go A, 1, B, 2. So I'm going to go, again, up by 2. And notice, I'm making a count of not just how far we're traveling, but in what direction. Are we going up or are we going down, and how far are we going? And then finishing off this measure, we go from a B, again, up to a C. So how far are we traveling going from B to C? Well, let's see. We start on B. We end on C. I'm going B1, C2, 2. So again, we're going up by 2 notes. Notice this gives us a very precise way of mapping out not only the distance that we travel, but the direction that we travel. And in some ways, if we have those two components, if we have the distance that we're traveling, how many notes we're moving, and in what direction, that gives us a really strong sense of sort of the DNA of this melody. We start on a C, we go up 8 notes to a C, then we go down 2 notes to a B, down 3 notes to a G, then up 2 notes to an A, then up 2 notes to a B, and then up 2 notes to a C. This idea of mapping out the distance from one note to another is known in music as an interval. We're going to use that term interval a lot this semester, and sometimes it can start to get confusing. But I always want you to remember that the word interval is simply a word that means distance. When we say interval, what we're really asking is, what is the distance between 2 notes? And I'm going to correct my spelling of distance there. What is the distance between 2 notes? In the next video, we'll learn a little bit more about how we talk about intervals and how we use them, and then we'll go and investigate more of the intervals that we find in Over the Rainbow.